Media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today, the current topic is cricket, India versus England. As you know, the cricket team, English cricket team is in India. So that's why the topic is cricket, India versus England. But before I will go to the main topic, I would like to inform you that today world is celebrating World Water Day. World Water Day held on 22nd March every year since 1993 focuses on the importance of fresh water. World Water Day celebrates water and raises awareness of the 2.2 billion people living without access to safe water. It is about taking action to tackle the global water crisis. A core focus of World Water Day is to support the achievements of Sustainable Development Goal 6, water and sanitation for all by 2030. Today, water is under extreme threat from a growing population, increasing demands of agriculture and industry, and the worsening impacts of climate change. This year's theme of World Water Day is about what water means to people, its true value, and how we can better protect this vital resource. Media conference with Lal Goel wishes that people will understand the value of water and support catalyzing conservation of water. Now, coming to our main topic, that is cricket, India versus England. The 2-month-long England's tour of India will end with 3 one-day international ODIs starting from March 23rd, that is from tomorrow, at Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune. England had started its India tour with 4 test matches, 3 of which were won by India, followed by 5-match T20 international series. India won T20 international series by defeating England 3-2. All the 3 matches of India versus England ODI series will be played in Pune, as it is easy for BCCI to form a bio bubble for the players. The England cricket team represents England and Wales in international cricket. Since 1997, it has been governed by the England and Wales Cricket Board, ECB, having been previously governed by Melbourne Cricket Club, the MCC, since 1903. England, as a founding nation, is a full member of the International Cricket Council, ICC, with Test, One-Day International ODI, and 2020 International T20 International status. Until the 1990s, Scottish and Irish players also played for England, as those countries were not yet ICC members in their own right. England and Australia were the first teams to play a test match from 15 to 19th March in 1877, and along with South Africa, these nations formed the Imperial Cricket Conference, the predecessor to today's International Cricket Council, on 15th June 1909. England and Australia also played the first ODI on 5th January 1971. England's first T20 international was played on 13th June 2005, once more against Australia. As of 20th March 2021, England have played 1,034 test matches, winning 377 and losing 308, with 249 draws. In test series against Australia, England play for the Ashes, one of the most famous trophies in all of sport, and they have won the urn on 32 occasions. England have also played 752 ODIs, winning 378. They have appeared in the final of the Cricket World Cup 4 times, winning once in 2019. They have also finished as runners-up in 2 ICC Champions trophies, 2004 and 2013. England have played 131 T20 internationals, winning 66. They won the ICC T20 World Cup in 2010 and were runners-up in 2016. As of 8th March 2021, England are ranked 4th in tests as of 20th March 2021, first in ODIs and first in T20 International by the ICC. The England cricket team represents England and Wales. However, under ICC regulations, player can qualify to play for a country by nationality, place of birth or residence. So some people are eligible to play for more than one team. ECB regulations state that to play for England, a player must be a British citizen and have either been born in England or Wales or have lived in England or Wales for 3 years. This has led to players who also held other nationalities becoming eligible to play for England. The qualification period for those born outside England and Wales has varied in the past, but in November 2018, the ECB announced that the period would be reduced to 3 years in all circumstances in line with ICC regulations. The India men's national cricket team, also known as Team India and Men in Blue, is governed by the Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, and is a full member of the International Cricket Council, ICC, with Test, One Day International ODI, and 2020 International T20 International status. Cricket was introduced to India by British sailors in the 18th century, and the first cricket club was established in 1792. India's national cricket team did not play its first test match until 25th June 1932 at Lord's, becoming the 6th team to be granted test cricket status. From 1932, India had to wait until 1952, almost 20 years, for its first test victory. In its first 50 years of international cricket, India was one of the weaker teams, winning only 35 of the first 196 test matches it played. The team, however, gained strength in the 1970s with the emergence of players such as batsman Gavaskar, Vishnath, Kapil Dev, and the Indian spin quartet. Traditionally much stronger at home than abroad, the Indian team has improved its overseas form, especially in limited overs cricket, since the start of the 21st century, winning test matches in Australia, England, and South Africa. It has won the Cricket World Cup twice, in 1983 under the captaincy of Kapil Dev and in 2011 under the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. After winning the 2011 World Cup, India became only the third team after West Indies and Australia to have won the World Cup more than once and the first cricket team to win the World Cup at home. It also won the 2007 ICC World 2020 and 2013 ICC Champions Trophy under the captaincy of MS Dhoni. It was also the joint champions of 2002 ICC Champion Trophy along with Sri Lanka. The Indian cricket team has rivalries with other test-playing nations, most notably with Pakistan, the political rival of India. However, in recent times, rivalries with nations like Australia, South Africa, and England have also gained prominence. As of 20th March 2021, India is ranked first in tests, second in both one-day international and T20s by the ICC. Virat Kohli is the current captain of the team across all formats, while the head coach is Ravi Shastri. The India versus England ODI series is also part of ICC Cricket World Super League, also known as ODI Super League, which will help to determine the teams for ICC ODI World Cup 2023. The top 7 teams on ICC ODI Super League, apart from the hosts, automatically making to ICC World Cup 2023 in India. India's ODI squad that is going to play tomorrow: Virat Kohli captain, Rohit Sharma vice captain, Shikhar Dhawan, Shubham Gill, Shreyas Iyer, Suryakant Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant, wicketkeeper, KL Rahul, wicketkeeper, Yajwendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav, Krunal Pandya, Washington Sundar, T. Natarajan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, and Shardul Thakur. So out of this ODI squad, the 11 players will be selected who will be playing tomorrow. The England men's ODI squad is Ian Morgan captain, Moeen Ali, Jonathan Bairstow, Sam Billings, Josh Butler, Sam Curran, Tom Curran, Liam Livingstone, Matt Parkinson, Adil Rashid, Jason Roy, Ben Stokes, Rishi Tropel, Mark Wood. The Pune wicket has been on a slower side historically, and it is expected that pitch will assist spinner in the first innings, while dew might come in play during the night. The India versus England one-day international series will be played behind closed doors due to rising COVID-19 cases in the country. Notably, Pune is one of the most affected cities in the state of Maharashtra. Now, to discuss this very topical, relevant, and today's everyone is talking about this topic, that is the cricket, India versus England. We have a very special guest with us. He is Mr. Surendra Khanna. Mr. Surendra Khanna is the former Indian cricket player. Mr. Khanna, when the selectors decided to drop Syed Kirmani for the tour of England in 1979, Mr. Khanna was given the big break. He was the designated wicketkeeper for India in the 1979 World Cup. He played in all the 3 World Cup games. He was in the Indian team for the 1984 Asia Cup held at Sharjah. He scored half centuries in low scoring encounters against Sri Lanka and Pakistan. India won the tournament and Mr. Khanna was named man of the series. He was a member of the Indian team that went to Pakistan in October the same year. Between 1991 and 1992, in Scotland, Edinburgh, he played as a professional cricketer for Corstorphine Cricket Club and Stewart's Melville Cricket Club. During the 1991 season, he scored 1,098 runs at an average of 91.5. Nowadays, he is a cricketing expert of All India Radio, Doordarshan, and of course, of Media Conference with Lal Goel. Welcome, Mr. Surendra Khanna, on our show. Mr. Surendra Khanna, you know that today India is hosting this cricket series versus England, and you were in the governing body of IPL when you went to Dubai, because last year IPL could not take place in India because of the COVID, and it was successfully conducted at Dubai, where you were there and during the entire games and the matches. And after that, Indian team went to Australia. There also they played under the bio bubble, but there the spectators were allowed. In India, initially the spectators were allowed, but for last few games in the T20 and now in the ODI series, because the COVID-19 has again increased, cases have again increased, the matches are going to be closed door without any spectators. Now, we would like to know the entire scenario, because you being a player, a wicket keeper, and the player who played the World Cup, and you know the conditions of the World Cup, and you know the conditions basically of UK very well, and because you have played in Scotland and England, so you know the English players more than anyone else. So we would like to know from you about the cricket, India versus England. Mr. Surendra Khanna, please.
Thank you very much, Lal sir. The great history the game has, but for the last 1 year, I would say the entire world is going through the rigors and the pressures of the pandemic, Corona. A lot of people have died all over the world. And when it seems that the numbers are being controlled, we are seeing a trend that the numbers start increasing. And as far as the cricket or any sport which is being played all over the world, in India and subcontinent, cricket is like a religion, and especially in India, since we have been winning the World Cups and the current set of players and the IPL, the euphoria which has been created, cricket is like a religion in India. So the best part about being sitting indoors is when sports is happening, people get to see some good players in action and they can enjoy at home. So if it's T20, 3-4 hours, if it is test match, 7-8 hours, now one day is again 5-6 hours, 7 hours of entertainment, the sport which they like and India excel in. These two teams, when they were supposed to play the series, what more was expected than what we have seen so far. In T20s, we saw some great contests because the wicket was outstanding. The curator must be given the credit for that. Once you have a great wicket to bat on or bowl on, then only you can see a great contest. We had some of the outstanding players playing in the test match series, but unfortunately, I would say we won 3-1 great, but the best spell of bowling you can imagine a batsman had, that he picked up 5 wickets for 8 runs, Joe Root. So from that, everyone can imagine what kind of script we were playing on in the test matches. Yes, we want to win. We won 3-1. But when you have all the best players in the world playing, the wickets could have been better. T20s, we saw great contest. India came from behind to win 3-2. And in the one days also in Pune, I expect it will be better of a wicket and bowlers will find it difficult to take the batsmen from both sides. Some of the outstanding players are competing in this. And I would say that we'll see some great cricket in the next few days. But having said all this, administrators and cricketers, support staff, all those who have made this to happen, the doctors and the medical people involved in it, everyone connected with it, staying in the bio bubble is not easy. Everyone has to be disciplined because if one man, one player, one support staff, one person breaks the bio bubble, he creates trouble for everyone because this pandemic spreads so fast. This infection spreads so fast. Not only he will endanger himself, his life, but so many people who are in the bio. So wherever in the world people are disciplined sportsmen and people connected, support staff, referees, umpires, and ground staff. Matches are being held, tournaments are being held, soccer, ice hockey, cricket, basketball, whatever sports. Wherever they are disciplined, these events are going on without any hitch. But wherever we have seen there is some negligence, the trouble has come. But to get over that, India at home is a very, very strong team. And we saw that how we came from behind after losing the first test to win 3-1. And in the T20s as well, came from behind to win 3-2. So I expect the results on the same lines in the one days as well, because England is a very strong team. They compete very well. And over the years, after winning the World Cup, their confidence is high. But only thing I didn't like with their administrators was when you're playing India at home, which is a very, very strong team at home, and some outstanding players, England had the rotation policy. When you're playing the best team in the world, it's not an excuse. I'm not an advocate of England, but as a neutral person, I would have seen the best players competing against the Indian side. Then you expect better results. You can't have rotation policy when so much less cricket is now happening because of the current pandemic. So over the Next 1 week, probably 5-6 days, because there'll be a gap after one match. Fortunately, they are not traveling, but they are in the bio bubble. So Pune, otherwise, when you have the crowds, we always see packed houses in India, but unfortunately, these are special circumstances where we have to sit at home and applaud our players. The best cricket they play when they exhibit their bowling and batting and fielding. So I expect India to win in this one days as well. We have been playing well. Some very good talents like Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, we saw in the T20s what they can do with the bat. Rohit Sharma has been very consistent in the T20s and test matches. Probably since the last World Cup where he got 500, Rohit has not looked back. Wherever he gets an opportunity, he makes batting look so easy. He bats like a champion. He times the ball so well. And any other batsman, they are the best in the world. When they are on the non-striking and even Virat Kohli, they look pedestrian when Rohit Sharma is on sound. Joe Root showed why he is one of the best batsmen in the world. And he bowled a fantastic spell of 5 wickets for 8 runs in 6 overs. That also showed how great the wickets were in the Test match series. But unfortunately, he is not playing in the one day, though he has been a regular. So Morgan will be leading. And you were talking about, I think Morgan also was born in and was playing for Ireland earlier. Then he chose to play for England. I think, if I remember correctly. So many players who were born in Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, they used to play and they have captained the England team as well in the past. But now, since Scotland and Ireland play in the ICC as a nation, so many players from that region are representing their teams. So England, on the whole, their cricket is on the rise. Englishmen started the game of cricket. They taught cricket, but other countries like India, West Indies, Pakistan, over the years, New Zealand, South Africa, they have played better cricket than them. वो कहते हैं कि you taught us the game of cricket, but we learned it better and we exhibit our talents and performances on the ground better than you. So Englishmen have not won many trophies all over the world. In the World Cup, they played many finals. They won it once last year. Thanks to the umpiring decision on the last ball, nobody knew who's won. If you ask me with how many runs and how many wickets England won, you wouldn't be able to tell. Not even the statistician. It was such a tricky thing. But that's how the game of cricket goes. Glorious uncertainties are there in game of cricket. But end of the day, in the bio bubble, these are special circumstances. I compliment the players and their families, how they are coping with it, and everyone involved in it, even the administrators. They have done a great job in organizing these series. This is not very easy during this pandemic. So I compliment everyone involved in it and look forward to the one-day series in Pune tomorrow onwards. And I hope you have so much of history, the way you explained things. We played cricket, I played cricket. So I get educated when I do a program with you. So much of history I get to know.
Thank you very much, Surender Khannaji, for giving me the compliments also. But it is because of you, because of the players like you who has created the history. We are just reading the history, but you are the creator of the history. Thank you very much. And as Mr. Khanna has explained, the circumstances, the conditions under which England and India are going to play under the bio bubble. And he mentioned that how difficult it is because it's not easy for a player, although we always try to say something about the player, he has not played nicely or he has, because one should understand. And Mr. Khanna very closely monitored the entire bio bubble match of IPL last year in the UAE, and he knows the difficulties which the players and the ground staff, the supporting staffs, the umpires, and the management of the entire tournaments faces. But what he says is the condition in India are different because the Indians are playing on their home ground. But the England team is a very, very strong team one cannot take them lightly. And he has also mentioned about the 2 years back, that is in 2019 World Cup final. I was there in the England. I have not gone to see the final because India was not playing. But before that, I have gone to see in the Manchester and the Birmingham, all the matches where the India played. Even in the Lords also, I have seen the match. But when in this match, when it is not playing, so I could not go. But you are right that the last ball suspense was so much, so high, nobody knows, and ultimately England won the World Cup. Thank you very much, Mr. Khanna, for giving such a. You are really very. I must say the very down to earth, and the way you explain. It's go. Many viewers have complimented to you, and they says that Mr. Khanna is such a down to earth person, such a high profile player, and he is talking in such a way that anyone can understand, and especially the youth and the young generation, they are very, very delighted. And I remember when you came on my program, when the youth were there, and they were so happy to be a part where you were the chief guest. Thank you very much, Mr. Khanna, for giving the views. Now, I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Advocate Kanishka Tyagi. Advocate Kanishka Tyagi is a sports law expert and a sports anchor. She is a practicing lawyer and a radio personality. She is currently heading Business Strategies Department of Legum Amicus, a young dynamic law firm based at Delhi. She, after graduating from Campus Law Center, Delhi University, worked with a couple of law firms in Delhi. She joined Corden Boris, a global law firm, as partner in 2011. As a radio anchor, Advocate Kanishka has been presenting sports shows during major sports events, including Delhi Commonwealth Games, Cricket World Cup 2019, and other major sports events. Besides, Advocate Kanishka has been a regular contributor to law magazines and journals and regular speaker, guest, faculty at conferences, seminars, law colleges, and has addressed a wide variety of audiences at various platforms on corporate legal issues. Being a sports enthusiast, Kanishka has special interest in sports law and has worked with a number of sports persons, federations, and leagues and in sports related legal issues. Welcome, Advocate Kanishka Tyagi, on our show. Advocate Kanishka Tyagi, I know that you have joined late because you were to attend a case in the morning. We understand the case is important, but what I have already briefed what Mr. Surendra Khanna has mentioned in a very, very brief way. I have mentioned. So we would like to know from you the cricket India versus England. And I have seen you. I have seen your photograph when you are in the commentary box. You are giving some comments on this current series only when India was playing with the England. So we would like to know your comments about the India in cricket, India versus England. Advocate Kanishka Tyagi, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Goel, for inviting me once again to this show, which has completed 1 year recently. And I congratulate you and the entire team for your tremendous work and hard work that you've been putting in for last 1 year. And I'm really glad that I am here and sharing the panel with someone who's a legendary player. Not only a legendary player, everybody knows that he was a great player. He was hero of Asia Cup first, but not many people know, of course, who know him personally know that he's such a wonderful human being. Always just 5 minutes of conversation with him and you feel that you've learned something new. And he will not preach you, but in his own subtle way, he will end up teaching you something about life, some life mantra or the other. And such a down to earth person. I'm really happy and immensely glad that I know him and I have the pleasure of connecting with him personally. So thank you very much, sir, that you allowed me to be on this panel with you. See, I'm not a cricketer to talk about India versus England, but yes, certainly as an ardent lover of the game, and because I've spent some time with the cricket experts like Mr. Khanna over the years, so I can just give my perspective as an individual, as a as someone who likes to watch game, who likes to follow our team, not only our team, other teams as well. If we talk about India versus England, we started with tests, then we moved to T20I, and now we are starting with one day series. India has not only been working hard, but I would say lucky also that India defeated a team which is as good as England in tests also, and in then T20I. In T20I series, at one point it seemed that it will be very difficult task to come back, to make a comeback in the series, because England won 2 matches in succession, and then but what a comeback India made, and what a beautiful flamboyant batting that we got to see right in the last match. And I will talk about the opening combination that India used in the last T20I game, which is uh, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. It seemed, when we watched them play, it seemed that as if we are watching Sachin and Sehwag. It may not be the right comparison in technical terms, but to a cricket follower in me, it felt as if I'm reliving those days, the two best batsmen of our team starting the innings and staying. Virat obviously stayed till the end, but Rohit got out. So that helped our team to ensure that two best batsmen start right at the top, and then one of them at least tries to stay through, to play through to the entire innings, so that we can put runs on the board. Virat Kohli, if you've heard Virat Kohli talk about T20I series in any of the conferences or interviews, in brief chats that he's had with commentators, he said that his objective or team's objective was to put runs on the total batting first. And I think to a great extent, we were successful in achieving that. Now, to come to one day international series that is going to begin from tomorrow, it's very good. It's very important because three new people who are fairly new, though not entirely new, people know them because we've seen them playing in domestic circuit. We've also seen them playing in IPL. And someone like Krunal, we've seen him play in T20s also. So three newcomers have been given chance to don the hat of India in one day international series. And though three newcomers, Surendra Khanna ji talked about them, Prasidh, and then Krunal Pandya and Surya Kumar. We saw that Surya Kumar has the potential to, assist India in winning matches in future also. And I feel after watching this T20 series, what I feel, if you will notice that in all the matches where these youngsters played, whether it is Ishan Kishan, whether it is Surya Kumar, they brought a freshness, a refreshing thing to Indian team, and India succeeded. So here also I feel selectors have done the right thing, though I'm not the one to question them or to praise them also, but it seems the right approach to select youngsters and put the young blood into the team. Because these youngsters, they can steal 20, 15, 20 runs either by running quickly between the wickets, or they can save 15, 20 runs by being really active fielders when India is bowling. So I feel India needs to go for balance of experience and young blood, because experienced person knows whatever that experienced person does, whether that person is a cricketer or a lawyer or anything else, that experienced person knows from experience that how to manage things, manage your resources in a given circumstance. Even if things are against you, how to tackle those adversities and come out as a winner. As opposed to that, a young person who does not have much experience behind him, who does not have many years behind him, that young person brings fresh approach. Maybe those things have not been tried before, but that young person will try those things and will try to ensure that, okay, I have to prove myself. I've got this chance. India is a big country. All the Indians, majority of Indians are cricket followers. So if I am able to prove myself, I'll cement my team in my position in the team, my place in the team. So so that is why I'm insisting on whenever we select our playing 11, the captain selects his playing 11. There should be a balance of experience and the young blood, the youngsters that have been chosen by selectors, and those have been made part of the 18-member squad. So I would love to see Surya Kumar and Prasidh and Krunal do well. However, Kronal has been playing in IPL, and similarly, we've seen the other two also play. So it will be great to see how these three capitalize or utilize this opportunity which has been given to them, and they should be thankful. Of course, the cricketer here who has years of experience will be able to tell us more. How does it feel when in a country like India, which is crazy for cricket, when you get that call as a youngster that you have been selected to wear Indian jersey, to wear the color blue? I would definitely I would love to listen to this experience from Mr. Khanna, that how it actually feels. What do? Do you share it with your loved ones first, or do you just jump with the joy? What is that experience? And that is why I feel that these three people who've got the opportunity, they will be able to capitalize on it, and they will not only entertain us but obviously ensure that India wins at the end of the day. This one day series, if we see, as far as England is concerned, England's captain also said that we have some issues with the middle order. Our middle order has not been playing really well, and we'll have to address that issue. Similarly, if you would see England's our T20 match, fifth T20 between India and England, Indians were until the fourth match were not really able to. I wouldn't say not able to, but they were looking for chances and they were exploiting and hitting big runs when Jordan was bowling. But right in the last match, if you see Mark Wood's figures, he was also, you know, uh, played really well by Indian team. I think Owen Morgan also and the other think tank of the England team must have seen that Indian batsmen really enjoyed batting against all the bowlers of the England team. Obviously, that all depends on the pitch and the conditions, the due conditions also, which help batters on that particular day. But certainly, whenever the think tank sits together, they certainly discuss each and everything. One another thing which does not go in England's favor is that Jofra Archer will not play in one day international series. He will miss the first half of the IPL also, which is a right decision, which I'm really surprised about. Can we imitate that kind of decision in India or not? Recently, we saw that Jasprit Bumrah got married. He missed T20 series. He will miss the ODI series as well, but he will not miss IPL. So, which I think, as someone who loves game, I think that he should have taken that break during the IPL and played in ODI and T20I. That would have been better, so that he could have, served the country. What better thing could be than serving your country? But I don't know what happened, what went there, what was the discussion, why he took that break right between the important series which is on against England. He'll not only miss T20I but will also miss ODI. And because of that, if you see the entire conversation in the cricket circles, the experts were discussing what to do with our bowling. Our bowlers were not able to contain England. So that also, the absence of actually basically the point that I'm trying to make is the absence of Jasprit Bumrah, who's a key bowler, had an impact, a great impact on our performance. And the captain was left with less number of bowlers. His key bowler was missing, so he was forced to manage his resources in form of those 5 bowlers only. In fact, we made the change in the last game, so that captain could have 6 bowlers. And he should have, that is my opinion, I may not be right, but in my understanding, a player who's a key player, almost like a best bowler for India and one of the best in the world, should have played in one day series also and in T20 series also. And of course, marriage is a personal thing and it's very important juncture for a person, any person. But there was time during IPL, if it was possible, he should have married during that time. All right, coming back to the cricket, these are personal issues. Cricketers know better. But what I saw, what really impressed me about England team and also Virat Kohli this time, that he set a target for himself and for his team also, that we'll play first, bat first, put a good total, and then we'll try to defend it. I think to a great extent Virat Kohli addressed that concern, and he made a bold move of he moving up the order. and disturb the batting order right in the final. Because if you have won a match, then you do not really want to fiddle with that combination. For instance, if I talk about my profession, I will say that, okay, there is a person in my office who drafts really well, but there is another person in my office who argues really well. So I would, if we've won a case, if we got favorable orders with that combination, I would not like to fiddle with that combination, because I would feel that, okay, this has given us success. Maybe we can repeat that kind of success using the same combination. But right in the last match, uh, thinking in the long terms, that just shows that our team management and the captain, they were thinking in the terms of creating the best combination, trying all things from the perspective that India will play, all the countries will play World Cup later in the year, T20 World Cup. So that thing impressed me a lot, that right in the first match, despite winning the fourth, when you were you fiddled with your winning combination, and there you came out as a winner. And another thing which impressed me about Indian team is that Rohit made a statement after the winning, after we won T20I series, that it does not mean, despite the fact that we won T20I series, it does not mean that it is the best and the perfect playing 11, which means you've won, you are happy, but you're not satisfied. You want to improve, and you admit that this is not the perfect playing 11, and we may still change it. We may get to see changes. The people who played in the final or the fourth match or in the previous matches also, you may not get to see that kind of playing 11 when we play World Cup. Obviously, that will also depend on the fact that where we play the World Cup. If it is played in India and Dubai, maybe we may have a different combination of bowlers and batters suited to the condition. If we play in South Africa, if that competition takes place in South Africa, captain and team management would certainly want to field a different kind of team who's suited to those conditions. Of course, these circumstances also decide your playing 11, but admitting, and that admission has come from one of the most senior players and one of the best batsmen that India has, Rohit Sharma. People really love him. And if you follow Twitter, you would have seen when he was on the ground in the fourth match for just 4 overs, Virat Kohli was off the field. People were just on the Twitter was a buzz with these memes and discussions that Rohit Sharma should be the captain instead of Virat Kohli, but because whenever he captains, India wins. I'm not sure who should be, but I also agree with one thing. India in the long run can think of having different captains for different formats. What is this? I feel that this is our obsession with one person. It's not just Virat Kohli, it has happened in the past also. We obsess with one person, let that person captain your test team maybe, and maybe you can have someone like Rohit Sharma, who's shown in IPL also by winning multiple times that he's a great captain. And also both of these players are of more or less same age, they will retire at the same time. So if you continue with Virat Kohli, you would not, you may miss out on the opportunity of having someone as flamboyant and cool headed like Rohit Sharma as your captain. So he should be given that opportunity of captaining the India. One more thing that I want to point out, that India, I don't know it is with India only or generally in the world, but India only looks at batters when it wants to choose its captains. I feel that we've also lost out one opportunity of, I don't know, Khanna sir may correct me, that Ravichandra Ashwin, who's such a thinking player, he thinks a lot and applies a lot. Now he's not that young that we can make him a captain, but probably in the earlier years, couple of years back, if we could have made him a captain in T20 or in some other format. So this is a habit that we don't look at bowlers when we are selecting our captains. Khanna sir will tell me, obviously, I don't know, but I just an observation by watching games and hearing some cricket experts also. So this is what I say. In the end, I would like to conclude that I'm sure India has tried different combinations in T20I series. I'm sure we'll be able to win this series also. Even if we do not win, we'll be able to put up a good show against England, because England is now like a wounded tiger. They've lost tests, they've lost T20I also at no cost. these visitors would want to lose, and they'll put in everything more than 100% to ensure that they win ODI. So it will not be easy for India. It is not a cakewalk. It is one of the best teams against which you are going to play. And I hope that even if we do not win, but at least the team performance, the coordination, the individual performances are good enough so that our team takes only positives out of that this one day series.
Okay, thank you very much, Advocate Kanishka Tyagi. As usual, you are so articulate and to the point. You have explained each and everything. And one point only which I would like to highlight is that according to Advocate Kanishka Tyagi, the best part of our team, which has been selected now for the ODI, is the expertise as well as the young blood. And she says that this combination will definitely, this should work for India because we have very good experienced players in this team, and we are now taking the new 3 players, new blood. Definitely, this will play major role for the winning team. Thank you very much, Advocate Kanishka Tyagi. And as you have asked, I would like to ask the same first to our legend wicketkeeper and player Surinder Khanna ji. See, Advocate Mr. Khanna, Advocate Kanishka Tyagi made a point. She says that when you received a call that you have been selected and you have to in the Indian team and you have to come for the to join the team, how you reacted, and according to what she wants to know, to whom you informed first, and how was your reaction?
If I remember correctly, well, every youngster, any sport you play, back of the mind is to play for the country. And 78, 79, when I had century in each innings against Karnataka in Bangalore, and I came back from there, the team was to be picked for World Cup and in England, and the series against England. I was coming back from practice and in a bus. I used to commute in a bus at that time from Bangla Sahib Gurdwara. From India Gate, we went to Bangla Sahib in the evening for prayers, and then we had tea. We were 7, 8 of our top sportsmen from athletic, hockey, and I was playing cricket. So we were friends. We used to walk after the practice to Bangla Sahib. And then I took the bus, and when I got into the bus, they were announcing the team, but first 5, 6 names were gone by. I didn't know who all are in the team because I heard the last 7, 8 names. When I reached home, I saw the camera crew and a lot of people in front of my house. So there was something in the heart कि यार ये media है, लगता है कि नाम आ गया है या. When I reached up there, my father and my family, they were all waiting for me. It was great, any child. I was just 18, 19. And it happened. You work, you strong, you work so hard. सुबह 5 बजे we used to get out of the house, and आने का कोई टाइम नहीं था. 10 बज जाते थे. 3 बसों में जाना होता था. It was tough, it was hard, but उसका जब reward था, वो बहुत मीठा था. वो स्वाद जो है, वो चखने से ही आप एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो. अल्फाज में उसको कनिष्का बताना, लाल साहब, उतना आसान नहीं है. बट दिस इज व्हाट एवरी यंगस्टर, आजकल आईपीएल होने से, विद दिस अंडर 19 क्रिकेट हैज कम अप, आईपीएल इज हैपनिंग. It's relatively easy, I would say, to don the India cap. But in our days, when the dressing room had the likes of Sunil Gavaskar, Gundappa Vishwanath, Bedi Saab, Prasanna, Chandrasekhar, Venkatraghavan, Mohinder Amarnath, Rajesh Patel, Ashok Mankad, all these legends, those who were in the team, they would not, nobody would touch them. Kirmani. So there was hardly any place. Venkataka, Mohinder Amarnath, I mean, there were very less places to come into the dressing room with names like that. So it was a privilege, it was an honor, and that's what every youngster, और बहुत खुशी हुई थी Normally, I don't express that, but it was. And I wish, जैसे आजकल 3-0 करने के बाद राहुल को चौथा मैच मिला, आई विश मुझे ऐसा कप्तान मिला होता। मैं तो हीरो था शारजा में और 1-2 महीने में टीम से निकाल दिया। मुझे ऐसा कोई लाल साहब आप जैसा कनिष्का जैसा गॉडफादर मिल गया होता तो 4-5 हजार रन तो मैं भी बना देता हिंदुस्तान के लिए, बीइंग अ विकेट कीपर। 20-25-30 सैकड़े भी मार देता मैं।
Yes, we understand, Khanna
वो
साहब.
वो लाइन, वो फेट लाइन आपके हाथ में होनी चाहिए in any profession. I mean, you're more experienced than me. Kanishka is in a line. Harish Salve is the best. I was speaking to a friend this morning. I said, यार कई बार सोचता हूँ कि हमारे टाइम में there was not much money in cricket. The money in cricket has come in the last 10-12 years since IPL is happening and India started winning. In fact, it increased when Kapil Dev won. That team won the '83 World Cup. From there, the upward graph of the money part in cricket started increasing. Otherwise, the top players in every sport or in any profession, they take the maximum, cream is taken by them. Like Kohli, Rohit Sharma, Dhoni, 30-40 ad तो यही करते हैं, 50 ad. अगर companies want their product to be advertised in cricket, so Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Dhoni, these three will have 100 amongst them, and 2-4 बच जाएंगे वो आपके मेरे जैसे जो होंगे उनके लिए आ जाएंगे. So
Okay.
in every profession, it's like that. But coming serious to serious cricket, like Kanishka talked about, young and the resources available. But let's not forget, we are born and brought up on these pitches, these conditions. Wherever there was something in the wicket where the seamers could do something, like Mark Wood, Jordan, or anybody, for England's perspective, they made life difficult for us. Like Rahul couldn't score a run. 3 मैच में
खन्ना साहब मैं इसी एक मिनट आपको खन्ना साहब एक मिनट रोक रहा हूं. मैं आप ही से पूछना चाह रहा हूं. द क्वेश्चन इज, everybody criticized Ahmedabad pitch initially, the same pitch which were there for last all the matches were there, and in the first in the test match so much disaster. What you say about that pitch? And so much was in the media. People says that when we go abroad, we never talk. Nobody talks about the pitch, what they are making. When they are coming to India, they are murmuring and they are criticizing our pitch. At your time also, the pitches were like this, where the spinners were made in keeping the mind about the spinners, or it was a neutral pitch. Because nowadays people are asking that a neutral curator should be there. What do you think about this, Mr. Khanna?
Also, if we talk about England, curators, groundsmen are professionals over there. In England, if it's a test match, the curator decides what kind of a wicket he wants to make. He's not going to listen to the English captain that he goes to the ground, Morgan, I want this much grass. Nothing doing. He says, I'll give you a good pitch where the crowd sees 5 days of cricket. So you talked about Ahmedabad. In your question lies the answer. If we, in the last match, we could see a wicket on India scored 220 plus. Why couldn't we make a wicket like this in the test matches? Answer lies in your question.
Okay. 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 Now my question goes.
Professionals do their job. You allow them to do their job. Yes, we have some advantage. We are having advantage. It's 35 degrees in Ahmedabad, 100 humidity. We can cope better with the conditions, weather conditions. Englishmen find it difficult. They want pleasant weather to excel in. And also something in the wicket where their bowling Mark Wood will be able to swing the ball off the wicket, or Jordan will be able to hit the deck and seam the ball, or Archer can get some extra bounce from good length. When it was a placid wicket, it became so easy for our batsmen to toy with them. The way, I mean, only otherwise, If it was England, would he dream of opening the batting then when the ball is seaming? What preparation are we talking about? If two of our best batsmen plays fine, why Sehwag and Tendulkar used to open? Because we had a great middle order. We had Dravid, we had Ganguly, we had so many others, Dhoni. If these two get out, who will score the runs then? Hardik Pandya, Tullebaj.
Okay.
So, seeing the wicket, और एक और हिंदी में फ्रेज उसे इंग्लिश में आप कर देना, मेरे वालिद साहब कहते थे कि जब चल रही हो ना फुल चलानी चाहिए, जो कोहली कर रहा है. जब चल रही हो, पावर आपके हाथ में हो, फुल चलाओ. और जब ना पावर हाथ में हो तब चलाने की कोशिश करो तो मूर्ख कहलाओगे.
Okay, thank you, Khanna Sahab. And Mr. Khanna is very candid when he said about the pitches. He says that pitches in England, the curators are very professional. They never listen to any of the team captain or any team. While what we have seen in Ahmedabad, if same pitch would have been made for the Test cricket, they would have scored. But anyway, and he has mentioned one thing in
We would have
Hindi.
seen
And
better contest, Lal Saab, if the pitches were better. If pitches were better, we would have seen better contest. India would have still won. Because England had the spinners who could trouble the way Indian spinners troubled them, like Ashwin, Akshar in the absence of Ravindra Jadeja. But you don't have dust on the first day itself. That the test match finishes. It's not a pink ball test. It's a regular test match and it finishes in just 2 days. What cricket are we talking about? And you expect these big names who are doing commentary on the television, they are getting a contract of 7 crores a year to criticize the wickets. You're living in fool's paradise to expect anything from them. They'll dance without clothes in front of you for money.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Khanna. Now my question goes to Advocate Kanishka. Advocate Kanishka, this rotation policy of England has been criticized by a few commentators as well as in media. And you also mentioned about the absence of our pace bowler Bumrah for the wedding. Why?
Yes.
We are a country of almost 1.4 billion people. We have so many players playing in IPL. Don't you think by this rotation policy which UK is doing today, they are creating the players for future? As Khanna Sahab has just mentioned in Hindi, when the things are moving according to you in a very proper way, you must try to do the experiments at that time. Right now, except the test match, England is on the top and the top of the table on both the formats. What they are doing is, what the English people says, that we are not talking of present, we are talking of future. If we will not leave, like Mr. Khanna has mentioned, that when so many big names were there, how he got it was a very remote chances, but he got it. Okay. But if this rotation policy would have been enforced, he would have got easily, because the wicket keeper is required, bowlers are required. Don't you think this is good to create our new players, give a chance, not only 4, 5, 8 players, as Mr. Khanna has mentioned that 2 players are top, and if they will be out, then who is going to play in the middle order? You have also mentioned the same thing, and you are talking about the bowler, that only one bowler. Why we are depending only one bowler? We should have at least that everybody wants to come in. And so what you say about this?
See, this decision by England team that they rotate, that is good also, and in a way, however, what I did not like about it, but there were reports in the media, English team and management talked, and they said that we are preserving our best players for Ashes, which to me it seemed that you are not giving very good importance, equal importance to this series. Why not? India is also a test playing nation and a good with a good ranking. Then if you are preserving your players for Ashes, that means you rank this series below Ashes. However, having said that, I do agree with you that yes, we need rotation policy. But I am again puzzled with the decision of Indian team to rest Rohit in the first 2 matches. If that is the case, you should have rested Virat Kohli also. Because who's playing more cricket than him today? No one. So if you can rest him, you should have rested him also. Mind you, he was not scoring that much. He also got out on ducks. So that was also questioned. If you feel that you rested your best batsman, one of the best batsmen, he's so stylish when he.
But you never ask question to the boss.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But my view is that he already rested paternity leave.
He rested, but see, you have to see that
He
you are not
took
performing well.
paternity leave and we forgot the 36 all out.
Right.
Yes.
True. So we have to groom 4 or 5 options so that we do not depend on any one particular cricketer or one particular person. You rightfully mentioned that if we are feeling the pinch of Jasprit Bumrah's absence right now, then we should have enough options. We should have 4 or 5 Jasprit Bumrahs. So, but that will happen only when there is that intent on the captain's part also, and I feel on the team's management part also, that we have to groom and keep our youngsters or maybe other players also ready so that we have an alternative when someone is missing. Either by choice someone is missing, or maybe the team has taken that decision that we'll rest this player, give that other person a chance. We should have, but that will happen only when we give equal opportunities to more number of players.
Okay.
And that problem also showed, which Khannaji pointed out, that you are allowing KL Rahul to play for continuously when he did not perform well. Why did you not take him out? Why did you not ask him to rest? And at the same time, it's not that you do not have an alternative for him. You had alternative for him, but you allowed him to continue for 3-4 matches when he was not performing, which just does not seem fair to me. And at the same time, not only experienced alternative, you also had youngsters who were waiting on the line to be
Ishan Kishan,
But-
he got a 50 of 24 balls and then he was dropped.
yes.
But
Outstanding player.
yes, true. But it is a
And,
history. It is a every time we have seen from the time of Nawab Pataudi, those who are favorite to the captain, they always find. Now my question goes to Mr. Khanna.
Also favorite to the captain, fine.
Hmm.
But they're all signed by his company also.
Okay. Yes.
The
Okay.
conflicts are not being addressed, Everybody is closing the eyes to those things, which we are, as lawyers, if you read the constitution or BCCI website, you'll be able to get all this information on that, People have filed before the ombudsman of BCCI, but he's getting 16 lakhs per month. Oh, he doesn't take any action. Why should I take action against the captain, retired Supreme Court judge? 16 lakh rupees mahina.
Okay.
Honorable Chief Justice
our BC,
only 2 lakh 60,000 or 2 lakh 90,000.
our BCCI is very rich, so 16 lakhs per month is nothing for them.
No, but his performance should be assessed also.
Yes,
So
yeah,
he's
you are
also
right.
getting away
Yes.
like Rahul,
Yes,
getting
yes,
zero and
yes.
playing.
Everyone should be responsible. My question to you is, do you think IPL is giving benefit to India, Mr. Khanna? Because 2 reasons. First thing is, these youngsters are getting exposure with the international players, and they know that how they can see, because otherwise it's very difficult to get a chance to play with the international players, with the young players. And that's why the Indian team position has gone up. Earlier, India was known to be very good in short format, but now India is on top in the test. So it is because of the IPL that everything is changed in India in last say 10 years.
Well, commercially, I would say IPL is benefiting not only Indian players, but players from outside. What Australians get in 10 years, they tend to get it now in just 2 months, in one season. And if you count that we played just 4 months back in Dubai, and now the IPL is happening again from 9th. So in 6 months, Ask Pat Cummins how many crores he has made, and you convert that into dollars, Australian dollars, and in the last 10 years, how much he has earned in Australia. So commercially, yes, but otherwise, cricket-wise, I don't think there is benefit in shorter format. Very few batsmen and bowlers are there who are technically very, very sound. So a lot of people get sorted out in this if they don't have the craft. Like Bumrah, he bowls the Yorkers very well. Pat Cummins is one of the best in the world, so he can at his will pick up wickets with Yorkers and with variations in his bowling. So those who are greats like Rohit Sharma or Chris Gale, he's retired, but he's now come back in the T20 side for West Indies. So these greats who are genius, you make them play in T20 in India, Dubai, anywhere in the world, they excel because they are greats at their work. It's like a perform. They'll perform anywhere. As far as youngsters, I have also spoken about this, different captains, different players for different formats. We'll have Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and maybe one or two more who will be in all the three teams. But let's have separate captains. They will be relatively fresh, and they will score and perform more consistently for a longer period. And our youngsters, if we have a different set of T20 players, every season, every year, if we have 5 series or 7 series of T20s, so we'll have so many youngsters who are good in T20s competing at the highest level against the world teams. In one day, we have a separate set of players who are experts in one day. And then in test matches, we have different set of players. So about 100 players will get an opportunity, or 150 in a year, to play at the highest level. So there is no doubt of, but who will take that? Who will bell the cap? Who will take that decision? Australians have, England have, they have done it. Whether they get the desired result, they knew. Even if they play their best players, they may not get beat India in India. But though that's not a very good way of thinking, when they were playing India in India, they should have played their best team. So tomorrow, nobody can say that the best players were not playing because of rotation policy. It gave us a point to discuss all this. Experience and youth in any field, in any business, a great combination. But IPL, if you say cricket-wise, not much. Otherwise, financially, it is for everybody, the sponsors, the team owners, the support staff, the match referee, commentators, everyone. कि 3 घंटे के जिसमें कोई मेहनत लगती नहीं है, उसका इतना माल मिलता है कि जो आप 10 साल में नहीं आपको मिलता है, 2 महीने. और पैंडेमिक टाइम में आप सोचो, when this current scenario for the last 1 year, you are having 2 IPLs. So I compliment the administrators because they will also, this is the only earning tournament for BCCI. They'll make about 4,000 crores or 4,500 crores after paying out so much money. So you can imagine financially, great, cricket-wise, technically and all that. No.
Okay, thank you, Khanna Sahab. Now, Advocate Kanishka, you got the answer which you were raising about Mr. our pace bowler Bumrah, why he has not taking the break in IPL, why he is taking the break in the Test series. Because Khanna Sahab has given the reply to that. There is the money. When the money is there, how come the player, and he's right in that way. So it is always the player will be fit, player will be doing well even during the IPL, but when there is a test series, when the countries are there, then there is a problem. Anyway, now my question to you is, there are lots of confusion, as Mr. Khanna has mentioned about the 2 years back, the final, World Cup final, when the last ball was a problem. There are many others when people say that the third umpire role is not good. Even the recently happened where the Virat Kohli lost his cool because of one decision. Do you think all that, because you are an advocate and you are expert in law, sports law, do you think all the laws to be revisited with all the stakeholders, including players, current players, ex-players, or those who have a say, and rewrite all the laws differently for the different formats, whether it's for T20, for ODI and the test series, and then make it foolproof, so that these types of confusions, whether the third umpire is good or bad, or whether the field umpire, because now field umpire is shrinking of his responsibility by just showing like this, and his role is over. Earlier, the field umpire was very much responsible. He has to see, concentrate everything. Now he feels if everything goes wrong, the opposite team will appeal, I will refer, and then that third umpire is responsible. What you say about this, Advocate Tyagi? Please unmute. Please unmute.
Before I answer, I want to add to what Khanna sir said.
Yeah.
He said that IPL, people are making money, but cricket-wise, it's nothing. That has also impacted general perception and general approach of general people towards cricket. Now, people who used to play in past cricket and who were thinking that one day we'll play for country, now the parents of children want their children to play cricket because they see that it's a career alternative now. It's a good career choice, because even if our son does not play in for the country, if he gets a chance to play in IPL, he will at least make money and name also in a way. So it's a career. It has become, people have become serious about cricket in that sense, because everybody these days is money minded.
So basically, according to you, it's not the patriotism. It is not for the nation's feeling. What Mr. Khanna has explained when he played for the country, that experience when he got the call. So nowadays for IPL, it's like you are getting a job or something, or a money earning venture. So basically, it has nothing to do with the patriotism and the country playing for the cricket. That type of happiness is not there. Correct?
Absolutely. I feel that has patriotism has taken a back seat, and money making option and seeing it as a career where you can earn money, that is being seen as something. Because now you see not just IPL, there are so many leagues where you can also play after retirement. Outside the country, so many leagues are happening. Inside the country also, some unofficial leagues are happening. So now people see it, at least the parents see it as something through which you can earn money also. Now, coming to your question, see, there are laws, and laws need to evolve in everything, every area, every field of society. Wherever we exist, we need laws, and those laws need to be changed also. What I feel that in every sense of the word, in every sphere, the more we are progressing, the more time is passing and technology is improving, we as persons, not just cricketers, we everywhere you see, we are becoming more lazy and less efficient. If I were to give you an example, in old times, whenever a lawyer required to research a case, there were these thick books which you would take out, and you will try to find out, okay, these are the facts of my case, let me try to find out which case helps me. You were supposed to read those thick books, and not one book, number of books you would read and find out a case which goes in your favor. And now, as opposed to that, now today, if I have to find a case, I'll just open the tool, the online tool or the offline tool. I'll just type in the keywords and it will give me the cases. So life is that easy for me. Obviously, it will impact my imagination, my ability to work more hard. I will definitely be a lot less hardworking than the previous ones if I have the assistance of technology. So certainly it has made our life easy, but I feel that in today's times, even a person who's average or slightly above the average has more chances of getting success in all spheres of life, owing to the things, the surrounding circumstances, and technology has a major role to play in it. Similarly, you mentioned that the third umpire only makes this action now, and he passes the buck to the screen umpire, right? So here also you can see, in old times, umpire only relied on his eyes, on his observations, and 99% of times their observation was bang on. So if you allow this field umpire to make that action, to refer every situation, difficult situation, to the screen umpire, to the third umpire, and you have that soft dismissal, soft signal, then that means the umpire who's present on field is not required to be that vigilant. He will say, okay, I can just observe it superficially. If I feel that I am not able to gaze it properly, I'll refer it. So technology has assisted you in this way. Even an average person who may not be that good an observer will have a chance to become an umpire. Similarly, in other areas relating to cricket.
Okay, so Advocate Tyagi, then why we require empires at all? Even the third empire is not required. We can leave under the artificial intelligence, and they will decide. Their response or their result will be far better and superior than the empires, because they will give you the correct picture. If we will use the AI, and we will have the immediately that whether it was out or not out, or whether it was a LBW or not, and no need of any empire on the field, as well as the third empire is also not
That's my
required.
problem with this system. That is my problem. That why are you making yourself dependent so much on technology? Because you have people, you have to give everybody job. Either you just pass a law that everybody just needs to be an engineer who is good at AI. You make programs only, or you let people do what they like doing and don't depend so much on technology. That's what my view is.
Okay. We will have a discussion on this technology sometime separately, where we can even say that why we require the judges or the lawyers if everything can be done by AI. We will keep it, and I'm sure I will take you as a panelist. Now, my question to Mr. Khanna is, Mr. Khanna, you are talking about this IPL. You remember very well, because you were playing at that time, the county of UK was supposed to be very prestigious thing at one time. Any player who has got the chance to get in the county at that time playing was from India was termed that, oh, he got a chance to play there, and he's playing in that county. Now they lost the stream because of the money, as you have mentioned. So what do you think that counties were also like IPL, or they were better than IPL?
So county cricket was more competitive. It was 4 days matches or 3-day matches. And those days there were very less opportunities. The season in India used to be very limited. There were very few matches, less matches. The international tours were very few. So anyone who got a chance to play in county cricket, he used to play for 6 months over there. So it was beneficial because all the top players of the world, 2 in every team were allowed initially, 2 professionals. And the standard was very good. And the conditions, of course, were tough for batsmen and pitches and for spinners from India, but they excelled. It was one way of earning good, decent money. It wasn't great, but I felt it was a better format. But T20s all over the world now, there is very less time. The way the cricket calendars are, thanks to pandemic, that less cricket is happening. Otherwise, the next 7 years calendar, ICC and every team makes, every country makes. So there is very less time. They play about 50, 60 one-day matches, and 10, 15, 20 T20s, and hardly 5 or 6 test matches India plays in a year. So in between, there is very less time for our players to go and play county cricket. But anybody who is out of the Indian team for long, he gets a contract with an English county, because a lot of foreign coaches now come and become coaches of the teams in IPL. So all the top players, Ashwin or somebody of that level, if he's out of form, out of the Indian team, he gets to play county cricket and works with that coach and gets better at his craft and comes back. So it's helpful when you play days cricket. But T20s and all, there's hardly any time. If you get out, you get out. The team doesn't have time to recover. If you play one days, if you lose 2, 3 wickets in the first 15 overs, you still have 35 overs to make up. But for me, days cricket is the best place where you try a youngster. If he is a bowler, he will get 20, 30 overs to bowl and 2 innings. If he is a batsman, he'll have 2 innings, 5 days. So he can excel. In T20s and all, it's lottery. Like Ishan Kishan, one day he was brilliant, won us the match with his batting, and next day he got out, they dropped him. On one side, if you are fortunate like Rahul, you get 3 zeros, you get a fourth chance. So it depends on your luck as well. But I always maintain that county and days cricket is always better if you want to hone your skills and excel. And now, of course, in our times, if county was playing far less, now even the county players tend to get more because more sponsors have come in. The popularity of the game has not only grown in India, but thanks to the television, it has made it so good, lucrative for the sponsors as well, that they get so much of mileage. And all over the world, their products are selling. The multinationals tend to reap in the benefits by sponsoring these cricket games, And we are seeing certain companies who were never in cricket, they are advertising. The latest was Lenskart. Not that my daughter is legal head of that, but they are also there now. Their ad is there. And Rock, Reckitt Colmeiser's Dettol. In pandemic, they're selling the maximum in the world. Their products are being used. They're lucky that this pandemic has come and their business, that company's business is soaring. What they could have sold in 5 years, they have sold in 6 months. So IPL is like that for cricketers. Umrah Point or anybody in that situation. As a fast bowler, if you're playing 3-4 years of games for your country, your franchise, and not missing out on, and you have injuries, Indian players are not honest to come out and take a break like Archer has taken. I remember, I'll tell you an instance of Chaminda Wall playing for Sri Lanka. He was a left arm seamer. The physio they had and Arvind De Silva. Their physio helped De Silva that he could play, Arvinda could play for 7, 8, 9, 10 years for Sri Lanka because of that physio. And Chaminda was decided to play a series, and the physio said, if you play the series, you will lose your shoulder and you will not be able to play cricket for Sri Lanka. You miss this series, have an operation, have a surgery, and you will play for 10, 15, 20 years. He listened to the physio, missed for 6 months of all cricket, 8 months, with the rehabilitation and everything. He came back and Chaminda was, at the top of his game for the next 10 years. Arvind De Silva also listened to that physio. Another great physio was with West Indies team, which helped the mighty Clive Lloyd, Viv Richards and all. And he was with them for 15 long years, and West Indies ruled the world. And most of their players, they listened to the physio. But our cricketers, if anybody, IPL is coming, he would like to miss the T20, but they are dishonest. This business of Kiji Bharat Mata Ki Jai and all that, that is gone. Now money makes the mayor go. It's very unfortunate. On are the likes of Gavaskar and Kapil Dev, who played for 17, 18 years without missing a match for the country. They also made money. Everyone wants to make money. But your first love is, when you start playing cricket, is to play for the country, get the India cap. It's an honor. It's a pride. And for me, anyone who does that purposely should not be allowed to play any other cricket if he's missing out purposely matches for India.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Khanna. Now, my last question to Advocate Tyagi. I will come back to you, Mr. Khanna. My only 30 seconds or to you. Who is going to win this India versus England test, our one-day series?
My understanding, England will win because England is a great team. It will not be easy for India. India has already won, and I think it's now England's turn. We'll see England as a winner.
Okay. Thank you, Advocate Tyagi, for giving your view very clearly. Now, Mr. Surendra Khanna, what you think, who is going to win in this series of ODIs?
Lalta, when you go to the lawyer first, the first thing comes to mind is how much time the lawyer will speak in the court. I remember when the Honorable Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, he was listening to the betting and all that case of BCCI, IPL. In a one lighter moment, he said, when Harish Salve was the first to speak, he said, there must be some betting in the court today. Everyone was stunned. What kind of a thing is the Honorable Chief Justice is saying? He said, well, there will be a bet on how much time Mr. Harish Salve will speak. Half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. And, there are lighter moments also. You've been firing so many bouncers on me and googlies. Winning and losing depends the team which plays good cricket. English is a good side, they're number one, and we'll have to play outstanding cricket again like we played in the last T20 to beat them.
Okay. Thank you very much. So today you have seen the experts' views, the legendary wicketkeeper and Indian player, Mr. Surendra Khanna, very candid. He has explained each and everything, why India won, what was the problem with the pitches, as well as how India should do and what is the role of IPL. He has made it very, very clear. Similarly, the advocate Tyagi, who is a sports law expert, she was very candid today, and she has also explained those things which I can very well say that she was not that much candid our earlier programs, but today she was very candid and truthful, and she has mentioned very clearly that India should do like this, and where she has mentioned that the patriotism is losing, which Mr. Khanna is also saying it's a very sad thing for our country. After all, we all are for the country first. But anyways, we will see how the this one-day series is going to take place now without the spectators, because the COVID-19 is coming back. That rather, I will say COVID returns. So please be safe, be healthy at your home, and see to it that you should not venture out anywhere where you will get the COVID infection. Thank you very much.
Before you wind up,
yes, please.
Congratulations once again to you for completing 1 year.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khanna, and thank you very much, Advocate Tyagi, for giving the congratulatory message to us. Thank you very much. Because of you, all you people, as well as the viewers, we are there where we are. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic. And tomorrow our topic is media conference with Lal Goel, elections, role of media. Yes, because as you know, 5 states elections are taking place right now. What is the role of media? We will be analyzing, and our panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, one-man expert, Commission on Labour, Government of India; Dr. P.K. Abraham, former managing director and managing editor, Managing Director, Rashtriya Deepika Limited, Kottayam; Colonel S. Dini, retired contemporary writer, column. They will be analyzing tomorrow the elections, role of media. Please do join tomorrow media conference Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Mr. Surendra Khanna. Thank you very much, Advocate.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for giving very, very enriching views. I'm sure all our viewers are enriched and enlightened about the cricket, India versus England. And thank you all our viewers for watching our show. Thank you very much.